All you can eat. 3 words that promise paradise. Endless plates, unlimited variety, total food freedom. But what if that dream came with bacteria you can't see, frozen shortcuts they won't admit to, and corporate deception hiding behind chocolate fountains? We rank the top 5 buffet chains from absolute worst to surprisingly decent. And what we discovered at number 3, it'll make you question every buffet plate you've ever touched. Because the worst offender isn't who you think. Before we dive in, you need to understand something. Buffets aren't restaurants anymore. They're food production factories disguised as dining experiences. We've exposed cruise ship buffets, airport restaurant scams, theme park food rip-offs. But land-based buffet chains? They're playing a different game entirely. Because when food sits under heat lamps for hours, when hundreds of strangers touch the same serving spoons, when corporate mandates prioritize cost over cleanliness, you're not eating dinner, you're playing food roulette. And the chain at number 2, it's been hiding something that'll make your stomach turn. Let's start with the absolute worst. 5 chains, 5 very different levels of deception. 1 reheats yesterday's pizza and calls it fresh. 1 injects meat with chemicals to hide its age. 1 promised grandma's cooking but delivered corporate cafeteria food. 1 serves pizza and chicken, both equally disappointing. And 1 actually cared about what they served you until the pandemic killed them. By the end of this ranking, you'll never look at buffets the same way. Starting with the chain that should have shut down years ago. Number 5. Cici's Pizza. Cici's Pizza. $5.99 all-you-can-eat pizza buffet. Kids screaming, parents relieved. Sounds like a deal, right? Until you look closer. That fresh pizza on the buffet? It's made from frozen dough shipped in bulk from industrial facilities. The cheese? It's not mozzarella. It's a cheese product. A blend of milk solids, palm oil, and artificial flavoring designed to melt like cheese without being cheese. But here's where it gets worse. Former employees have reported that leftover slices from the buffet, they don't get thrown away. They get reheated multiple times, sometimes for days. That pepperoni slice you grabbed, it might have been sitting there since Tuesday. Reheated, re-sauced, re-cheesed. You're not eating fresh pizza, you're eating a reheated regret factory. And the sanitation. Multiple locations have failed health inspections for cross-contamination, improper food storage, and employee hygiene violation. But they stay open because when the pizza costs $5.99 unlimited, nobody asks questions. Cici's isn't a pizza party. It's a bacterial breeding ground with unlimited refills. But as bad as Cici's is, the chain at number 4 has a bigger problem. And it's hiding in plain sight behind those carving stations. Number 4. Golden Corral. Golden Corral, the king of American buffets. Carving stations, chocolate fountains, endless variety. They promise abundance, but what they deliver is something else entirely. That steak being carved in front of you, it looks fresh, right? Here's what they don't tell you. Some of those meats are injected with flavor enhancers, basically salt water, phosphates, and chemicals designed to mask age and add weight. You're not tasting quality beef, you're tasting corporate chemistry. But the real problem isn't the meat, it's the steam trays. Food sits there for hours, sometimes all day, rotating in and out as it gets low. But that fresh chicken pot pie you grabbed at 7 p.m., the base ingredients were prepped at 10 a.m. It's been sitting, congealing, growing bacteria under those heat lamps. And the salad bar? Multiple investigations have found cross-contamination between raw and cooked foods. Tongs used for raw shrimps touching the lettuce. Kids sneezing directly onto croutons. No supervision, no accountability. Golden Corral serves abundance, but they don't serve safety. And when hundreds of people are touching the same serving spoons, using the same sneeze-guardless buffet trays, you're not eating dinner, you're sharing germs with everyone who walked in that day. But at least Golden Corral is still open. The chain at number 3, it collapsed under the weight of its own cost cutting. And what happened behind the scenes will make you understand why. Number 3, Ryan's Old Country Buffet. Ryan's Old Country Buffet, Hometown Buffet. They all operated under the same corporate umbrella, and they all promised the same thing: Southern comfort food, home-style cooking, grandma's kitchen. But what they delivered was corporate leftovers. Because here's what killed these chains. It wasn't the pandemic. It was years of cutting corners. Corporate restructuring led to ingredient downgrades, smaller portions, cheaper meats. The fried chicken became frozen pre-fried patties, reheated in industrial ovens. The mashed potatoes came from powder mixed with water and margarine. The mac and cheese was Kraft Dinner, stretched with flour to fill more trays. They called it homestyle, but there was nothing home about it. And the health violations? Dozens of locations were cited for rodent droppings in storage areas, expired food being served past safety dates, employees not washing hands between raw meat and cooked food. Multiple locations closed not because of business, but because health departments forced them to. Rice and Old Country Buffet promised you grandma's kitchen, but grandma would have burned the whole building down before serving what they did. And yet, somehow the chain at number 2 is still operating, despite serving food that tastes like it gave up halfway through cooking. Number 2, Pizza Ranch. Pizza Ranch, Midwest charm, pizza and fried chicken combo, community gathering spot. Sounds wholesome, right? Until you taste it. Pizza Ranch operates on a simple philosophy: quantity over quality, speed over flavor, grease over everything else. That signature fried chicken they're famous for? It's pre-fried at a central facility, frozen, shipped in bulk, then reheated in store. You're not eating fried chicken. You're eating reheated frozen chicken that used to be fried. The pizza? Even worse. Frozen crusts, canned sauce, cheese that's somehow both rubbery and greasy at the same time. But here's the kicker. Pizza Ranch charges more than Cici's. You're paying premium prices for food that tastes like it's been defeated by life, and the consistency, non-existent. Some locations serve decent food, others serve something that barely qualifies as edible. Because when franchise owners are left to their own devices with minimal corporate oversight, quality becomes optional. They ranched the pizza, but they forgot the flavor, the freshness, the reason people come back. But as disappointing as Pizza Ranch is, it's not the saddest story. Because the chain we rank number 1, it actually did everything right and still couldn't survive. Number 1, Sweet Tomatoes Soup Plantation. Sweet Tomatoes Soup Plantation. Depending on where you lived, it had a different name, but it had the same mission. Fresh salads, soups made from scratch, actual ingredients you could recognize. This was the buffet that didn't lie to you. Real vegetables, homemade dressings, bread baked fresh every day, no steam trays sitting for hours, no mystery meats, no corporate shortcuts. They posted ingredients lists, they sourced locally when possible, they hired real cooks, not just assembly line workers. Sweet Tomatoes was proof that buffets can have integrity, that you could serve unlimited food without sacrificing quality. That abundance didn't need to mean deception. And then, the pandemic hit. Buffet-style dining became a liability. Shared serving utensils became a health risk. And Sweet Tomatoes, without the frozen shortcuts and chemical preservatives of its competitors, couldn't survive the pivot to takeout. They closed permanently in 2020. Not because their food was bad, not because they cut corners, but because they did everything right in an industry built on doing things wrong. Sweet Tomatoes was the only buffet that fed you without fooling you, and we let it die, while Golden Corral and Cici's stayed open. That should tell you everything you need to know about what we're willing to accept. But not every buffet is a nightmare. Some are still fighting for quality. Not all buffets are serving reheated regrets. Some are doing it right, with real ingredients, real chefs, real integrity. Fogo de Chão, Brazilian steakhouse. Rotating meats carved tableside, no steam trays, no shortcuts. Real gaucho chefs, quality cuts, transparent pricing. They prove buffet-style service can be elevated when profit isn't the only goal. Shady Maple, Pennsylvania. Amish recipes, local sourcing, everything made from scratch. This is what Old Country Buffet claimed to be, but actually delivered. Real mashed potatoes, real fried chicken, real community. Bacchanal Buffet, Las Vegas. Gourmet stations, global cuisines, chef-driven preparation. They turned buffet into an experience, not a compromise. And yes, it's expensive, but you're paying for actual food. Hundreds Buffet, Toronto. Asian fusion done right. Fresh seafood, clean presentation. They serve variety without sacrificing quality. Proof that even ethnic buffets can maintain standards when they actually care. These places exist, but they're rare, expensive, and increasingly endangered. Because in a world where Cici's can charge $6 for reheated pizza and still pack the dining room, why bother with integrity? Buffets promised freedom, unlimited food, endless choice, American abundance. But somewhere along the way, they became something else. Reheated shortcuts, chemical enhancers, steam trays that sit for hours. You're not eating fresh food. You're eating whatever's profitable to keep under a heat lamp. And when even sweet tomatoes, the one buffet that did everything right, can't survive in a market dominated by Golden Corral and Cici's, that tells you everything about what we're willing to accept. Next time you're standing at a buffet with your plate in hand, ask yourself, how long has this been sitting here? Who touched it before me? And is this really food or just the illusion of abundance? If even your all-you-can-eat buffet isn't safe, what else are we eating without asking questions?